So I have no idea when we as a society started to take anything Tana Mongeau said for anything other than just delusional ramblings. I know the Cody Ko situation is different, but that's like the one time in 5 years that anything she said has had more truth to it than lies. But what I'm talking about is all this bullshit that I'm hearing about her co-host and how she made some racist tweets in the past, almost 10 years ago. Now I know there's no excuse for racism, especially when you're not a middle schooler who doesn't fully understand what a slur is, but are we forgetting who the fuck Tana Mongeau is? This is the same person that had a content cop video made about them because of how hypocritical she is.
You know you were stupid, right? You fucking.
Growing up in Vegas, everybody said those words, and I didn't even know that they were considered racist at all. They were in rap songs, and I totally thought it just meant like homie or like friend.
This is the same girl who put on one of the worst events in recent history, only to shift almost all the blame onto the guy she worked with for the event so that everyone can feel bad for her because she cried with Shane fucking Dawson. Why was he even the person people went to express how sorry they were? That's literally like if LeBron James went to Scottie Pippen's house to announce to all of us how he was on steroids the whole time. We're gonna be like, alright, that's cool, but what the fuck is Scotty doing here? Like recently, Tana's podcast co-host, Brooke Schofield, started getting hate because of some tweets she made 10 years ago. And I mean, what white person hasn't nowadays? It's almost like thinking about your future wasn't something people thought of back then. Y'all wanna know what I was posting 10 years ago? Now tell me, am I wrong? But because of these tweets, her co-host was forced to make an apology where she basically said she was sorry for everything and that she was influenced by her parents and grandparents at the time. And with her being 17 at the time of these tweets being out, I can totally believe that.
He is a very, very right-wing conservative man, okay? It was like my household was literally just Fox News all the time, Rush Limbaugh, like if you guys know who that is, like playing literally all day long through the house.
I know who that is. That's the guy who hates Brian in Family Guy.
Hey, Limbaugh! I think you're a fat shit blowhard.
And I know I've made videos on people being racist in the past, being like, you can't do that. But don't worry, I'll get there. It's just not gonna be with her. But apparently only 4 tweets were uncovered by this Brooke Schofield. One of them said, ew, my god, I swear I had nappier hair this morning than most African Americans on this end of the country. Hashtag Afro. Fair enough, we've all had bad hair days, but I'm 100% sure that it was the ew that got her. Because honestly, there's nothing wrong with saying you have nappier hair than most black people. She didn't even say black people. She said what everyone wants you to call them. What do you mean, you people? I didn't even say that. Oh, okay. You're good. Another tweet says, Cassie yells racist profanities in the movie theater. Only minority in the room is sitting directly behind us. Well, I mean, it's a movie theater. It doesn't matter where he'd be sitting, I'm pretty sure they would have heard it. But again, she didn't even say a slur, she said minorities. And this time, it was her friend who said something, it wasn't even her, she was just describing what happened. If anything, we gotta burn Casey at the stake, because describing what happened should never get you this much hate. This next one is like, alright, I can't do anything but read this and then give my thoughts, because there is no defending this one. I said so many accidentally racist things last night, I don't know how I even made it back to America. Now, when has someone ever been denied access to America for saying racist things? I feel like you made some threats towards our country at some point during the night, because I can start blasting off racial slurs to people that don't even fit the insult. I can start calling white people Asian racial slurs and then buy a Spirit flight out of here the next day. And where was she that these racial slurs are being used so casually that it almost prohibited her access to America? She was in North Korea teaching Kim how to say the N-word, wasn't she? Yeah, she was. But this last tweet is the one that put the nail in the coffin. This was the finisher. If she had just made the previous 3 tweets, then an apology would have been enough. But this is what she said. Guaranteed if Zimmerman shot a white guy, this wouldn't even be a story. Newsflash, this wasn't a crime of racism, it was self-defense. Now they don't have the date this was tweeted out, but the fact that she is talking about this after the fact means that there were probably more tweets to this rant that got deleted. This isn't just something she googled and she's like, well, are you serious? They're mad because he was black? This is a tweet somebody makes after getting into an argument with someone and you want to get the last word without adding the person you were arguing with. Regardless of how old she was though, this tweet alone gives us a pretty good idea of what kind of person she would have been had she not gotten all this social media attention. And like I said in the beginning, after all this came out, Tana felt that she needed to distance herself from this racist piece of shit, because how can anyone be associated with anyone so racist?
Obviously, as you guys can see, I am alone on this couch. Brooke is not here with us today, and I want to be abundantly clear that that was my decision.
we all saw the tweets, and they're fucked up and they're horrific. And I'm saying that as a white person, right? Like, I cannot even imagine being a black non-fan or fan and reading those tweets. And I've made it very clear to Brooke as well that I condemn her for these tweets, and they're fucking horrible. And I have no right to forgive her as a white person for the things that she said. Before I get into a little more of my thoughts on this, I'm also wrong in this situation, and I want to be open and honest with you guys about that. When Brooke made her first apology video, I commented on it and I said, "We grew up bad, I love you," and immediately regretted it so hard. Realized how fucking stupid it was for me to fucking say that. I'm going to beat myself up for that forever, quite frankly. It's not my place as a white person to forgive her or add to the problem and further the narrative of white people forgiving other white people. And it's not enough to just write these things off as we grew up bad. And I think that I learned that now, and that shows me that I still have things to learn and unlearn. And I just first wanted to apologize to anyone I hurt for commenting that on her video.
Dog, what the fuck are you talking about? Who gives a shit what you replied to her video with? Can you explain why you replied to your black friend with "text me back" or "go back to plantation"? Soup? Because he's not welcome here, it's whites only. Or like, how about you just calling him a cotton picker? That is quite literally worse than someone saying they have nappier hair than an African American. And that's not it. She does what you never do and doubles down, calling him a cotton picker twice. Now what's worse, guys? Saying that the Trayvon Martin shooting wasn't about race, or calling a black person a cotton picker twice? But something her and Brooke have in common is that they don't just stick to one race, they treat all of them equally. Like Tana says, "Who hurt you? This flame? Or when you were thrown over the border, you Cuban piece of shit? Hey, yo! What did the Cubans do to you?" But you guys see what I mean? She has no right as a white person and a racist to comment on anything that has been said. These tweets were literally made around the same time as her friends, but yet she's still on the podcast? She should have fired her friend and herself and just had someone else be sitting there explaining how both of the hosts are just racist people in hiding, waiting to erupt like a volcano. Because you don't just stop being racist after 19 years without eventually blowing up out of nowhere. I can guarantee you that when a white person puts their username as Black Lives Matter in all caps, they're trying to distract us from who they really are. Good thing whoever this Reddit poster is found that out. I also did save a screenshot I was going to show of her just straight up saying the N-word, but this looks like from Twitter when it was just a baby, so I don't know if this one is real. I don't even know if the other ones are real, but everyone on Reddit excuse me, I don't even know if those ones are real, but everyone on Reddit seemed to also think they were real. So I'll believe it until my video gets taken down for slander. But until then, we should all be treating Tana Mongeau the same way she's treating her friend, because I don't even think anyone cares about what her friend said and the way Tana is trying to make everyone feel. Like she's making it seem like her friend had a secret membership to the KKK no one knew about. And like everyone in the replies is like, what the fuck are you talking about? No one cares about you. But yeah guys, Tana Mongeau used to be arguably just as racist as her friend, if not more. But since she's the star of the show, she can shift all the hate to her friend while also playing the victim to try and get more sympathy from people. Not for me. I hate you. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.